Wait, watch.
Big sale! Don't miss out on the biggest deal of the season.
Oh, just $17.95. We are drowning in ads. Every time you look at your phone, someone, it seems, trying to sell you something. But with everybody so glued to their phones, it should be easier than ever to find clients, right? The internet keeps telling you marketing is simple. And yet, the moment you try to actually do marketing, everything falls apart. The idea behind marketing feels intuitive, then why is it so freaking hard? Today, I want to take a different approach than most. After almost 2 decades of corporate business and consulting experience and seeing what worked and what didn't, I won't promise that marketing is easy. Instead, I want to zoom out and understand what marketing is really about. Because maybe the reason so many people struggle with marketing isn't lack of information, but quite the opposite. Too much advice, pulling us in different directions.
About 100 years ago, companies in the Western world ran into a problem. Consumers had everything they needed, and so the companies came up with a great idea.
You just can't beat a Lucky Strike. Terrific new busy day dessert.
Persuade people that they need more things, even things they didn't really know they needed.
Back in the days when I was just getting into it, I treated marketing and advertising as basically the same thing. I couldn't really grasp how all those fancy marketing terms, SEO, CTRs, funnels, fit into a bigger picture. Something just wasn't clicking in my head. And then everybody starts telling you what marketing really is. At some point, you know you need to do marketing. And if you're like me, when learning something new, you roll up your sleeves, open YouTube, and find whatever marketing 101 tutorial you can find with the most views. You watch it, maybe even take some notes, and you feel like you finally get it. Then you try to actually use it. In marketing, everything looks and feels intuitive until you try to do it. And then you might be staring at that Facebook Ads Manager or HubSpot dashboard or whatever, thinking, come on, what is all this? Something isn't right. If marketing feels so intuitive, why does everything fall apart the moment you try to use it?
Why should I pick you? Why do I care about what you're doing? And if you start giving me all this inside baseball statistics about why you're 2% better than some other competitor, I'm already glazed over.
And most importantly, has it always been that way? Is marketing new? Well, digital marketing is somewhat new, but marketing itself has been around for ages. Nature invented it millions of years ago. Look at the peacock. He's been doing it forever. Think about it. A male peacock sees a female peacock he likes, walks up to her, and then he's like, hey, look at my fancy tail. If she doesn't want to, start a family with him, he just moves on to advertise his tail to another female. Marketing is natural. As long as there's scarcity, there's competition, and marketing simply helps you compete. Back in the days, marketing used to be simple. There just wasn't too much choice. You'd go around a small town and you pretty much knew personally everybody who sells bread. Sometimes they would shout something at you just to remind you of their existence, but that's about all the marketing they ever did, or even had to do. But society was evolving. You see, as populations grew, getting noticed became harder. But wait a second. More people should make selling easier, no? Instead, it did the opposite. Just as there were more customers, every new customer also attracted new sellers. Instead of choosing between 2 bakeries, you are choosing between 15, all on the same street. Same bread, same prices. Customers' attention became more fragmented, so bakers had to adapt too. And that's when marketing started evolving too. Marketing did not become more difficult on its own. It was a reflection of the evolution that society was and still is going through. Everything is becoming more sophisticated. The cars we drive, the food we eat, the shows we watch. The other day, I was thinking about YouTube. The largest media platform in the world where everybody tries to get your attention. Almost 2 billion people watch YouTube every single day. That's 2 billion. Just start a channel and you will have more viewers than you can handle. The problem is, that's not how the math works. There are also over 115 million different channels on YouTube. That's just a little over 17 views per channel, on average. So, as a content creator, you're competing with 115 million other content creators. And as a YouTube user, you're not choosing from a handful of channels like you would do with the bakers in your area. You are choosing from 115 million options. The peacock analogy breaks down rather quickly. After all, they only have one tail to operate. We have never-ending complexities of the modern business world. And that analogy still doesn't answer what marketing is. But instead of talking about what marketing is, let's discuss what it actually does. Think about your business. Your company needs clients. Okay, but how do you find them? Well, you could meet them in person or send an email if you know their email address, or call them or advertise to them on social media, but most people you reach out to won't be interested.
Companies want us to like new things, to buy new things, to crave new things.
And those who are might not be your ideal client. So you keep searching until you find the perfect fit. And when you do, you're done. There, this is what marketing is about. Or is it? If that were true, marketing would be easy. But wait, isn't finding prospective clients the whole point of marketing?
Leads is the output of advertising. And so if no one wants to advertise, people want leads.
Well, it's not that simple. Let's go back to that client you're trying to land. For your business to succeed, it's not just finding any clients that you care about. It's finding good clients. But good clients will spend time getting to know you before they trust you. And when you do find a good client, don't you want to retain them? Or even have them promote you to their network? How do you do all that? Well, we'll get to that in a moment, but first, let's take a little detour. Let's say I want to get this water into this little bottle. Easy peasy, right? I mean, we don't even need to imagine anything. Let's just do it. Alright. I guess it could have been worse. But what does it have to do with anything? Well, in this, let's call it experiment, water is your money. Just like pouring water through a small bottleneck, trying to get customers into your business, if you're not careful, can get messy. There are a lot of people in the world. But how many of those people even know that your company exists? They are all living their lives, minding their own business. Even if they all run towards you because you started advertising heavily, how many do you think will get through that bottleneck?
You only need 200 people in your gym to be incredibly profitable. And right now, the last time I checked, you've got 1 million people in your city. And so you just have to get 200 of them. And so if there's 10 others or 100 other gyms that are advertising your area, even on the same platform, you still just need to get 0.00002% of that audience to just come to you.
In that case, isn't it a numbers game? The more people run towards me, the more people will end up with me. That means that instead of trying to fill the bottle from a glass, I now have a bucket of water. Not sure I want to try that, but you see, it doesn't even matter if it's a glass or a bucket. More water, less water, it will still be almost everywhere but your bottle. If only we had something to make it easier. How about that? I take the glass, I take the bottle. Not ideal, but much better, isn't it? And that bottle is your business. And the funnel is, well, the funnel is the funnel. It's literally what they call it, a marketing funnel. Marketing doesn't necessarily convince people to take action. It filters those who might from those who never will. First, people learn about you. Then they learn to trust you more. Then maybe some will consider working with you. Ultimately, some will work with you and even recommend you to their network. But is it reasonable to expect that every single person at the top of the funnel will become your client? No, that's not how this works. The funnel is the system that expects fewer and fewer people as the funnel narrows. Can you widen the funnel? Yes. Is it easy? Well, the main question is not how easy or hard it is, but where you are in the funnel and whether you know what to do there. Let me ask you this. As a business owner, what goal are you trying to achieve by marketing? I just want more clients. Okay, once you frame it that way, the next step feels obvious. Just run some ads, right? How hard can it be? You pick a platform, likely Google, write a few self-promoting lines, set a budget, and then realize that you need to decide on keywords, whatever those are. Then you discover that different keywords have different prices. Some are just a few cents, while others could be in the hundreds of dollars. All right, maybe you don't pick the cheapest keywords, but it still feels safer to test the waters and start with the lower cost options. Then you press publish and wait for the magic to happen. And magic doesn't happen. Don't get me wrong, you will get clicks. But those clicks seem so random that you start questioning the whole concept of digital marketing. Why is this happening? Because we're missing intent and trust. Actually, let me show you. Think of the funnel as layers of intent. It starts with awareness. Up here, I'm not looking for a business relationship yet. It doesn't really matter how much I trust you. Then there is interest, there is consideration, and then action. Down here, I'm ready to buy. But I won't buy just from anybody. I need to have trust. There's also loyalty and advocacy, but we'll get to those later. The closer a person is to making a decision, the more expensive it will be to target them through ads. Think about it. Let's say you need to file your taxes. You go on Google, type best accountants near me, and now you have several pages of accounting firms to choose from. But you will also see a few names at the very top under the sponsored results header. You see, that keyword, accounting firms near me, tells Google that you are very close to making a buying decision.
You're not compelled by some physical force to go out and do everything you can to buy it. But if you're already feeling like buying a watch, or maybe you're already favorable towards the brand, you know, that additional data point is going to push you maybe a little bit further.
That's your intent. The stronger is the intent, the more competition there is for that keyword. And those keywords will be more expensive. The advantage of the sponsored links is that they are right at the very top. And that's a huge advantage, because our attention span is so short nowadays. But it's still up to those accounting firms to convince you to trust them after you click. They first need to warm you up, so to speak. It's literally a thing in marketing, actually, cold and warm leads. Okay, maybe not that literally, but warmer leads are easier to convert into a paying client. In other words, the more trust a potential client has towards you, the higher the chance that your ad will not go to waste. But ads don't create trust. All they do is harvest intent. Okay, hold on. How do you build trust then? That's where marketing channels kick in. Some channels catch people when they're ready to act. Others slowly earn their trust. Most channels do a bit of both. They just do one or the other better. Your website is a marketing channel. Ads are a marketing channel. Networking is a marketing channel. Your clients, who like you so much that they bring their friends to work with you in the future, are also a marketing channel. They all differ in how fast they work, how much they cost, how well they scale, and so on. All channels can work by themselves, but they also complement each other. Think about this guy here. Let's call him Boris. Boris is deciding if he should hire an accountant or do his taxes himself. Where is he in the marketing funnel? He's right at the very top. And how about Jane? She knows that filing taxes is a massive headache. So she's looking for an accountant, not to learn how to be an accountant. Where is she in the funnel? She is near the bottom. So then the question is, do you target Boris or Jane with your ads? If you say Jane, well, you're not wrong. But that's not the full story. Let me explain. Ads are more expensive where intent is stronger. And maybe just a couple of dollars or even less here. Now, what if you post an article on your website teaching people to do their own accounting and file their own taxes? And if Boris goes to your website, reads the article, and likes it, he will already trust you more than Jane will by just clicking your ad. There's a good chance Boris will not become your client by reading just one article. But there's also a chance that Boris will remember your brand and become a client later, when he's ready, without you even having to advertise to him. And Jane, if she reads your article and trusts you more, there is a much higher chance that she will become a client when she sees your ad, instead of becoming just another wasted $250 click. Okay, now we are all set, right? You've run ads, you've written articles, but something still doesn't feel right. Let me ask you something. How many leads did you get in the last 14 days? How much did it cost you per lead? What's your conversion rate? Does it compare well to your industry averages? You see, modern marketing is not just a flimsy plastic funnel. It's this massive, powerful engine that can make or break a business. Now, imagine you have a car with just that engine and a gas pedal. That's it, nothing else. Not even a steering wheel. Guess what happens if you try to drive it? Even if you hit the gas to the floor, especially if you hit the gas to the floor, it probably won't go well. That car, just like your marketing, it needs more than just the engine and the money to fill it with. And that opens a whole new can of worms. You see, getting leads is not enough. First, it needs to be a qualified lead. Someone who actually wants what you sell. You can get thousands of clicks for just a couple of dollars. That doesn't mean all clicks will matter. Those clicks that do matter are rare. So it wouldn't hurt not to waste them. But do you know what happens to every single one of them at your company? From the moment someone first hears about you to the moment they become your loyal customer, that entire path is called the customer journey. Your marketing is the engine that moves people along that journey. But what if the engine is running, you keep pressing the gas pedal, and you have no dashboard, no steering wheel, and no clear direction? Now, there's actually a word for all those systems, dashboards, and that steering wheel that keeps you on the road. It's called marketing operations, or marketing ops. And when I see marketing strategies fail, it's often because they've been built backwards. Often, it's not marketing that failed, and leads didn't disappear because marketing didn't work. Nothing worked because they were flooring the gas while they couldn't even steer. Is there one right way to do marketing? No, there isn't. But if you only take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Marketing is the system that designs and manages your customer's journey. From the moment someone first hears about you, to the moment they trust you, to the moment they decide to work with you and recommend you to others, that entire journey is marketing. So the real question is never should I run ads. The real question is whether you actually understand your customer's journey and whether you have a system in place to see what's working and what isn't. First, you develop the strategy, then you design the infrastructure around it, and only then does it make sense to ask whether ads are even the right call. And ads are just one marketing channel. There are dozens of them. I even put together a guide breaking down more than 25 marketing channels and explained how they worked, what they're good at, and where they fit in. If you're interested, the guide is absolutely free and the link's in the description. But when you treat marketing as the system which you can build and improve, chaos becomes something you can actually control instead of constantly spilling water all over your desk. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the channel, please consider subscribing and see you in the next video.